2025 has come to an end at last, and that means it's time to show you what makeup products I've used up this year. The first category I'm going to go through is base products, which I did finish 3. I finished up 2 face primers and then 1 setting spray. Now these face primers I got decluttered to me by a friend. Seraphine Botanicals Rose and Storb Rose Gold Primer. This was just kind of your basic glowy moisturizing primer. It did what a glowy moisturizing primer does. It was fine. Not something that I felt the need to have once I use it up, but it was enjoyable. This Grown Alchemist Anti-Pollution Primer, however, was not pleasant. It was a very, very thick, silicone-y, dry texture, and while it smoothed out pores, it just, it was so solid and weird. It just made my skin look drier. Yeah, not great. Luckily, it was tiny. They're both sample sizes, so they're easy to go through. This one I barely used as a setting spray because the sprayer thing fell and broke off like halfway through it, maybe probably even earlier than that. So I kind of just poured it into my hand and used it as a face sunscreen, and that was not pleasant because it was very, very strong in sunscreen scent. So it was a lot. When it was a spray though, I had to be very careful when spraying my face with this because if any of it got on my hair was disgustingly greasy, which is kind of the nature of sunscreen. So I get it. But it was really hard to work around that and try to make it usable where I could reapply sunscreen over makeup without just having disgusting hair. So it wasn't really the solution that I thought it would be to the whole reapplication sunscreen issue. So I wouldn't repurchase it for that reason, but you know, other than that, it's fine. It's just, I think that's just the nature of the beast with spray sunscreens. It's just gonna make your hair look greasy. For face products, I finished 4 concealers, and this one is a Juvia's Place concealer in the shade 23. This one is kind of a thinner, more matte formula. I actually liked it a lot more towards the end. I think I used this up in the first few months of the year. So pardon me if I don't recollect it very well, but I liked it towards the end, but I didn't enjoy it for the most part to make me want to repurchase it. I just wanted something a little bit more moisturizing and flattering on my drier skin. This one was a complete waste of money. Oh my god, I used it up so fast. Barely any product in here. This one took forever, so at least it's worth it. This one is probably a third of the price of this one, but this one has way, way, way more product. Not to mention this one has barely any coverage. This one's pretty high coverage. This one was like a skin tint in a concealer bottle, which, considering it's a concealer, not really what I was going for. It did not keep me covered, so very misleading name. These 2 e.l.f. concealers are the last of my Fair Warm hydrating camo concealers. I have used up a ton of these, and just in the last ones that I finished, I started realizing I didn't like how it looked on my skin. It just kind of looked a little weird texture-wise, so I think my skin's changed, so I found something that has looked a little better. But I finished up 4 concealers, which I am happy about because that means I am down to just the 2 concealers that work for me right now, and I don't have to worry about using up ones that I don't really like. As for cheek products, I used up 2 items. This Coverable Clean Powder in the shade 150 was basically a really, really subtle bronzer on me because it was too dark to be a normal face powder. So I used it up as a bronzer. I used it up fairly quickly because it was so light, so I had to be pretty generous in application to make it show up. But I made it work for me despite it being too dark. I bought it to use as a bronzer. I just thought it'd be darker, so you know, I made do. It wasn't bad. It's like a good standard matte powder, nothing wrong with it. If I were to repurchase this, I would get a slightly darker shade for it to work as a bronzer, but I don't feel the need to do that. This blush was also something that my friend decluttered to me. It's a Ciate London Velvet Skin Blush. Really, really pretty rosy blush in the shade Fancy. It's a mini, so it made it a lot easier to use up. I used this up faster than I thought I would just because, you know, blushes are a little scary, but Luckily, there was a big old air bubble in it, so I was able to use it up, but I did really enjoy it. But I wasn't like heartbroken when I used it up, just because I was kind of over it after using it for months on end. But it is a good velvety cream blush. I used up 6 eye and brow products. This first one is the NYX Tinted Brow Mascara in the shade Brunette. The color of this worked really well for me. I forgot it was completely broken. It's like a good kind of auburn leaning brown, so it worked with my kind of reddish light brown hair. The brush is pretty big. My biggest gripe of why I would not repurchase it is this. At first the lid just cracked, so I had to tape it to make sure it stayed together. And then towards the end, when I was so close to using it up, the whole mechanism just fell out and I couldn't even use it all. I mean, it was close, but it just fell apart. I'm still counting it as an empty because I used up the majority of the product, but yeah, it totally fell apart in every possible way. So I would not repurchase it because I want a product that will endure how long it takes to use it up. This is the only eyeliner I used up this year. It's an Essence waterproof pencil eyeliner. This is in the shade Very Berry. It was a shimmery, dark berry eyeliner. It's pretty. It was just a little bit darker than I want it to be, where it didn't really read as purple unless if I had put a lot on. So it almost was like I might as well just use a brown. But it's pretty for what it is if you want something really subtly purple, and the formula's good. I used up 4 mascaras. I'm not entirely sure if I used up all of them. Like this one was for the most part dried out. I don't even remember buying this one. Why did I bought this, I used to buy it when it was the dark purple container, and I really liked it then to put on top of a mascara that smudged because it kind of sealed it in, combed it out, and it made it not smudge anymore. But I don't remember liking this. I didn't like how flimsy the wand was. It didn't do much for my lashes, and I don't think it actually stayed on as well as I remembered. So I don't know if they changed the formula or if I changed, but it was just okay. This e.l.f. Incredicurl, I don't remember these at all. Oh, this one did not empty out. I think once I hit the 3 or 4 month mark, I called it done because I'm pretty sure I did not enjoy it. I think it was the lasting power of it. It just, I don't know. I don't even remember if that's bad. It did not make a good impression if I don't remember it. These e.l.f. lash extenders, however, I don't have it currently, but I wish I did because the one I have currently smudges and flakes more. I used it up twice and I would repurchase it. It's just been my favorite one that I've tried and it's a good price. So I would go back to this. I like the length and the volume it provides, and I like its lasting power. Next year, I think I'm just gonna play it safe and stop buying mascaras that I don't know if I'm gonna like. That way I can just use up what I have and it lasts longer instead of me buying ones I don't really like and then needing to buy a different one because I'm sick of using one that doesn't work very well. I also used up 5 lip products. This first one is an Elizabeth Arden lip liner that was really old and questionable to use, but I used it up. If you compare it to the length of some of the other pencils that I've used up this year, this one was, it took so much longer to use up because the pencil goes all the way down. Most of the time it gets used up because there's no more product in it and it falls out. This one just, I could not sharpen it anymore. It was that short. So, you know, they're more generous with their products, so that's better for your money. I did like the formula lip liner. It was that firmer, waxier lip liner, so it stayed pretty well. It was just a little bit brighter pink than I'd prefer. This e.l.f. one, I think it's like their mauve color. Oh, mauve aside, actually it still says it. This one was much creamier, does not have that good a staying power. I used both of these as blushes throughout the year to help me go through them faster, to help with my sanity because just using them as a lip liner was taking too long. This one was a bit too orangey of a mauve to be the most flattering color on my skin tone, but it was not bad enough to not just use it up, so it was good, but I prefer a firmer formula for lip liner because it lasts longer. This ColourPop blotted lip formula in the shade Still an Icon, I did not think I'd use this up as fast as I did, but I used it up. In a good chunk of it in the beginning as a lipstick, but when I put it into my project pan, I primarily used it as a cream blush, and I really enjoyed it that way. It was kind of warmer like this lip liner was, but it wasn't as bad, so it was a nice rosy blush, and I'm just glad it's done because it was getting kind of old. Then we have this Burt's Bees Tinted Lip Balm in the shade Red Dahlia. This is a really pretty, very neutral tone, not super cool or warm, and pretty sheer, so you can make it work with a lot of things. It has a little more pigment when you build it up, but I can't really build it up with how little product is left. But it was just, you know, it's okay. It's a tinted lip balm. It's not super shiny, not super pigmented, just a touch of color. I wouldn't repurchase it, nothing crazy. This Buxom mini lip gloss in the shade, I think it's Dolly. I got this as a free birthday gift last year, so this took a lot longer than I thought it would just because it's a mini. This is a really pretty shimmery pink color. It's just a little bit too thick and sticky for my preference. Also, the fact that it has that kind of menthol feel to it is not my favorite, but I liked how it looked enough to use it up, even though I didn't love the formula of it. So I wouldn't repurchase anything from here, but I'm just happy they're all done, and lip products are kind of hard for me to use up, so I'm happy about this. So that means I finished a total of 20 makeup products in this past year, which, considering how I've been trying to shrink the size of my collection and not have a ton of products, that's a lot for me. And I'm really happy with everything I got out. There are things that I won't really miss, or things that needed to get used up so they don't expire. So I'm just really happy that I was able to use these all up and just actually use my collection. This next year, I'm definitely going to lean into spreading the love amongst the products I have, more so than focusing on products to use them up, just because I've finally gotten my collection to a point where it's a good size for me, where I'm not as overwhelmed, and I feel like I can spread the love without it feeling overwhelming, like there's too many products. So there's not much that I want to narrow down. There are a few that I definitely want to use up and shrink a little bit more, but definitely not as much as this year. So I'm heading in the right direction. But that is everything. Thank you so much for watching. I hope that you enjoyed, and I hope that you have an amazing day. Bye!